Now, before starting with the prerequisites, the list of the book I have not provided. That those list of the book I will provide you in the next lecture. That there are number of books. The books for which I am referring for the prerequisites is nothing but the database system concepts. You can see here this particular book I am using, database system concept, fifth edition, and that book is what I can say. That book has been written by Silversides and Score and Sudarshan. So I can say generally I am calling it as a Core and Sudarshan book. So this book you can refer. Database System Concepts, 5th edition. Database System Concepts, 5th edition. This book you can refer. And whatever the PPTs I am presenting, these are the ready-made PPTs which are already provided by the same author, Korth and Sudarshan. These PPTs are not prepared by me. Let me clarify. These PPTs are being directly taken from this book directly. Okay. So let's start. So the first prerequisites, as I have told you, is nothing but the relational database, right? The first prerequisites is nothing but the relational database. Then the relational algebra operations, right? So the fundamental relational algebra operations, additional relational algebra operation, and extended relational algebra operations. These are the prerequisites which we require. Apart from that, we will be requiring what do you mean by null values and what do you mean by modification of the database. That you already know. I can say this all this particular part you people are already knowing, right? The only thing is I am going to revise it in a quicker manner, nothing else. What do you mean by relational data? What do you mean by relational database? Now I am taking it online, so I can't. What I can say, the question answering will not be clear. A relational database is nothing but what I can say, a form in which we can represent the database like SQL. So likewise, we are having another form that is nothing but a relational algebra. I am calling it as a relational database. So let's start. Now already you know what they mean by attribute. So in a quicker way, we'll say there are different types of the attributes are there. Each attribute is having the name, right? So the set of values for each attribute is called as the domain of that attribute. In which domain we are using the attribute, that is called as domain of that attribute. Now the attribute value is generally atomic. Atomic means what? It should be individual. Atomic means what? Every value should be individual. We can't in a single cell we can't provide two values, right? If I am saying roll number of a student, so in one column I am writing roll. If I am taking a name of the student ABC, and in roll number if I am writing two roll numbers, two means two, one is 32 and another one is 42. So it is not possible, right? That's why whatever the attribute we are going to take, that attribute must be atomic, right? Then either it will be a atomic value or it will be a null value. So attribute can be null or attribute can be a atomic value. Okay, next, here having the relational instance example I have taken. What do you mean by attribute? So you can see whatever the columns are there, generally if you are representing in a SQL format, if you are representing in a tabular format, then it is called as attributes. So you can see whatever we are having in a columns, whatever we are having in a column, these are nothing but the attributes. Okay, and whatever we are representing are called as the tuples. So you can see this is nothing but my first tuple, right? This is nothing but my first tuple, second tuple, third tuple, and fourth tuple. So these are nothing but the rows: first tuple, second tuple, third tuple, and fourth tuple. These are nothing but the tuples, or I am calling it as rows. And whatever I have represented here in rows and columns format, it is called as what? It is called as the relation. That you already know, just I am revising in a quicker way. You might have studied it already in the second year. Might have it in You might have not might have you already have studied it. Simply I am revising it, right? So I am calling it as an element T of tuple represented by R in a row. Then I am having database. Multiple relations will be there. Definitely whenever we are designing a database, there will be definitely multiple tables. In a real time scenario, there are thousands of tables in a single database. So if I am taking a complex example of IRCTC, right, Indian Rail Tourism Corporation of India, there you can find we are having thousands and thousands of table in a single database, right? So collection of tables I can say is called as a database. So here I have written the information about an enterprise broken into parts, each relation storing one part of the information. Definitely whenever we are creating a table, it will store a specific information, right? Another will keep us specific information. Likewise there will be number of tables, and the interlinking of that tables will be done in a database. So here I have given the example, the customer relation, right? The deposit relation, I can say different table. The first table is customer, where I am having customer name, customer street, customer city. Then I am having a depositor table or depositor relation. There I am having customer name and account number. Now you can see the customer name here I have taken, and here also I have taken a customer name. So here I am having, again there will be a part of keys. What do you mean by key? Right? The simple key, that is nothing but super key, candidate key, primary key, foreign key. Those concepts will be there. So that we are going to discuss in a coming time. But here the part has been came. That's why I have told you. Customer name here I am having, and here also I am having customer name. So from one table I have derived this customer name into another table. Okay, so now you can see it has came. What do you mean by key? So a k is a super key if it is a subset of r, right? You can see a k, if k is a super key then it is a subset of r. So definitely you know mathematically I am representing, right? Then what do you mean by candidate key? A minimal subset of super key is called as candidate key. That also you might have studied. What do you mean by candidate key? A minimal subset of super key is called as candidate key. A candidate key for customer. See, the example has been given. Customer name is a candidate key for customer. Since it is a super key, since it is a super key and not a subset of the super key, right? Then a primary key, a candidate key chosen as the a candidate key chosen as the principal means of identifying the tuples in the relation. That is called as primary key. Again, primary key, to choose which particular key as a primary is depends on the administrator. Administrator means who is designing the database. That particular guy will decide which particular key to be chosen as a primary key, right? Out of n number of candidate keys, he can choose any primary key, right? Then I am having a foreign key. Now you might be knowing what do you mean by foreign key, as the name itself suggests, foreign, right? So if I am having one table, right, if I am saying it as t1, and I am having another table if I am naming it as t2, right? And if I am saying I am having the customer name, right? If I am saying I am having here customer name, I am saying it as customer name, and this customer name relation, this customer name attribute, if I am using here in this particular table, right, as it is, then I can say here this customer key is a primary key, and this primary key I am using here as a foreign key. This customer key, and this customer key was primary key here in table T1, that I am using that I am using as a foreign key in table 2. Then this particular key customer is called as foreign key, right? You can read it, whatever I have told you graphically, these are nothing but the same, right? So you can see a relation schema may have an attribute that corresponds to the primary key of the another relation. A relation schema that may have an attribute that corresponds to the primary key of the another relation. Just now I have told you this is my table T1 and this is my table T2. In this particular table T1, if I am having a primary key customer, if I am naming it as a primary key customer, right? This is a primary key in table T1. This is a primary key in table T1, which I am using as a foreign key in table T2, right? That key, this key is called as a foreign key. Okay, and only values occurring in the primary key attribute is reference relation may occur in the foreign key attribute as a referencing relation. So I can say this is nothing but this particular t1 is nothing but the referenced relation, means referenced table, and this T2 is called as the referencing table. Are you getting? This is called as what? This particular table is called as what? This is called as a referenced table, referenced relation. And this particular table, which is using the primary key of the another table, it is called as the referencing relation or referencing table. Okay, so this is the concept of foreign key. So here the example of all the keys, the what do you mean by foreign key has been given. I am using here a branch name, right? I am using here a branch name. You can see this branch name is a primary key. This branch name is the primary key in the branch relation that I am using here as a foreign key in account relation. Right? Likewise, you can see here customer name is the primary key, right? That I am using here in the borrower relation as a foreign key. Right, that I am using here. You can see I am using here customer name as a I am using here customer name as a foreign key, right? So here you will have a clear idea what I am trying to tell you. Okay, then are you getting what I am trying to tell you? Then the query languages. So there are many query languages are there. You can see the categories of query languages: procedural, non-procedural, the pure relational, the pure languages. Which are the pure languages? The relational algebra, the tuple relational calculus, and domain relational calculus. You might have studied these three. These three you might have studied in the second year. What do you mean by relational algebra? What do you mean by tuple relational calculus? And what do you mean by domain relational calculus? So these are the pure categories, right? So relational algebra. Now I am coming to the what I can say the actual part, that is nothing but the relational algebra. So relational database I can say. In relational algebra we are having some operators which we use for a particular operation. For example, we use select sigma, we use sigma for select, we use pi for projection, we use union for union, we use minus for set difference, we use cross for Cartesian product, and we use p row I can say for rename, right? One more time I will tell you. Select we are using for selection, project we are using for projection, union we are using for union, to do the union of the operations, to do the union of the relations. Then I am having minus for set difference, cross for Cartesian products, and row for rename. Okay, now so the first what we'll do, we'll cover select and project today. The rest of the relational algebra expressions will continue in the next lecture. Okay, so select and project will cover in this particular lecture only. So first, select operation. You already know what do you mean by select. If I am writing here example, I am having a relation A. Suppose I am saying this is nothing but my relation R. If I am saying this is nothing but my relation R, in relation R I am having four attributes A, B, C, D, and these are nothing but the tuples alpha alpha 1 7, alpha beta 5 7, beta beta 12 3, beta beta 23 10, and so on. Right? So these are nothing but this is nothing but my relation R, and this on this relation R I am applying the select operation. Right? What I am applying here, I have written sigma A is equals to B. Right? Sigma A is equals to B and D greater than 5 from R. So what is the meaning of this? I am going to select. If I am writing this query in SQL operation, what it will be? Select what? Select. Select what? Select R. Select R. Select star from R where A is equals to B and D greater than 5. Means what? A should be equals to B. So here you can see A is equals to B. Yes. And D is greater than 5. Yes. That's why this particular row will be there. You can see the first row as it is. The first row as it is. Then I am having A is equals to B. Here you can see in this row I am not having A is equals to B means alpha is not equals to beta, so this condition will get failed. That's why second row will not be there. Then if I am talking about the third row, so in third row beta is equals to beta, yes, beta is equals to beta, means A is equals to B, and D greater than 5. Is D greater than 5? Is D greater than 5? No, D is greater than not, D is not greater than 5. D is less than 5. That's why the third row will not be there in the output. Then I am having the last row. So you can see in last row beta is equals to beta, means A is equals to B, and D, the value of D is greater than 10. Data D is 10, which is greater than 5. That's why the last row will be there. So output will be, the output of this particular relation will be this. Okay, this is the select operation. So likewise, I am having, there are many operations. I want to project. Now this is the another operation, project operation, right? Which we use pi for that. Again I am having a relation R. Here I am having a b and c for projection, for as a attributes a, b and c, alpha 10 1, alpha 21, beta 31, beta 42, right? And here I am going to do what? I am going to project what? A comma C. Only I am projecting what? I am projecting only A comma C from relation R. So I am going to project only this A and C. So you can see alpha 1, alpha 1, beta 1 and beta 2 will get projected. Right? Again, here you can see after this I will be getting the output like this, because the duplicate entries will get removed. You can see here I am having alpha 1 and here also I am having alpha 1. So duplicate will get removed and I will be getting alpha is equals to 1. Rest of the two rows beta 1 and beta 2 will be as it is. Okay. So this is about the project operation. Right guys? Now, so this is all for today.